Greetings, Internet world. You're in the Beat Sessions, the place for all things music and where we do the listening for you. I'm your host, Mitchell Weary. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and thank you all for your continued support. Let's talk about this cool new record from Molina, Talbot, Lofgren, and Young, entitled All Roads Lead Home. They released that on March 31st. If that billing sounds like it's kind of familiar, that's because you're looking at a Neil Young and Crazy Horse album here. Actually, it's more of a Crazy Horse and Neil Young album. Actually, Neil Young really isn't hanging out much on this thing. He contributes a live acoustic version of Song of the Seasons, which is interesting. I gotta admit, I really love the original version of that song. The way it opens up Barn, the accordion in that song is so rich, and it gives that song such a unique feel. Big fan of the original recording of that track, but the live folk recording on this thing is pretty cool. This project, I love the billing of it. I love, highlighting Billy Talbot, Nils Lofgren, Ralph Molina, Crazy Horse, who, while Neil Young and Crazy Horse were recording Barn, were also writing songs of their own. So it's great to have an album that features them. The all three of these guys are contributing 3 songs, and then we get Neil Young with Song of the Seasons filling it out for that nice round, 10-track record. It's 43 minutes. It's, really from start to finish a ton of fun. It's got a much more mellow feel than what you might expect from a Neil Young and Crazy Horse project. This really is just a Crazy Horse project. It's more folk driven, nice and mellow. The back end of it as well, I feel like the piano takes over a little bit, and there's just some really cool chill music on this record. It's definitely got that bit of nostalgia coming from the title, and just the idea of these guys finding this very fruitful territory late in their lives and taking advantage of it, and realizing that, yeah, this collaboration, this time that we've spent together over all of these decades creating art and putting it together, working at this period in our lives and making music that's pretty stellar right now. I mean, World Record and Barn are fantastic records. Toast kind of squirrely, but I mean that's coming from recording sessions 20 years ago, so I'm not counting it really. You're talking about music that's being recorded within the last few years with these guys, and so great to have a project that highlights the other different kind of creative sides of Crazy Horse. There's definitely that element of working with Neil Young that brings out kind of this specific style that they have. So you don't get that on this record. It's very much got a different feel while still feeling like a Crazy Horse record. You're feeling some of that like light chunky riffage that you might expect. Billy, great on the bass. I've always just freaking loved him. He is fantastic. But this thing, it kicks off with Rain, somber acoustic intro. It's got this kind of like country rock and roll feel, kind of a predominant thing on this record. It's that folk feel, but like country rock is something that's definitely playing a big role on this particular record. This track takes, it's got this just like really just like short jam in the middle. That's nice. I love when the track takes hold. It's got this really nice mellow slide element that's working throughout it as well. But it's Billy that's writing that song, leading things off. Great contribution from him. You Will Never Know, coming from Nils, is it's got this great drum intro. I really like the big acoustic guitar that comes in, a little more slide that's working in, and electric guitar as well. Just a really nice, solid, breezy feel. That 70s, California, just chill electric rock and roll kind of style. It's a great way to lead into its Magical, your third track. Moody acoustic element on this thing. It's kind of an interesting change of pace here. It's mixed with a bit of 80s pop rock flair. This is a unique record. There's like these fun little nuances that you'll notice at work here. They get all these tracks. They're kind of own unique feel while all really coming together nicely. That track's coming from Ralph, and then we get your 4-track that contribution from Neil, Song of the Seasons. I got to say, as much as I like that minimal acoustic arrangement, the original with the accordion is just too damn good. And then Billy's going to give you your 5th track, Cherish. Got this ambient build in the electric guitar and other instrumentation that hits for this minimal ballad. It's pretty interesting. And then it starts to fill out. I'd say like about a minute 30, minute 40 in. Get this very just serene, relaxing track to close that that A side out. Fill My Cup is coming from Mr. Lofgren Hill to open up your B side. Love the driving bass, the folk feel on this track. It's got this like great guitar with that outlaw twang. I always love that tone. Those notes are great. Classic, kind of like 60s rock and roll sound on this thing too. Think of like mid to late 60s, even in the early 70s a little bit. But just a nice way to kick off that second side. Look through the eyes of your heart, your seventh track. Big chunky electric guitar over this driving rhythm. I really like. There's kind of this like gospel element in the lyrics. It's definitely, it doesn't sound like there's a, choir harmonies or anything like that, but just lyrically, it feels like there's a little bit of a religious element kind of driving this thing. And I dig that contrast there, that dynamic, I think is a better word for it. But this is a song that it kind of has that classic Neil Young and Crazy Horse feel, a little bit of that chunky riffage, and it's a cool song. The Hunter, your eighth track, it's got this like simple two-note piano with other instrumentation and melodies that start to build in. It's a very mellow affair, and this is that back end where the piano just starts to take over here, I feel like, and I enjoyed it. I like the feel, the way that this thing closes out. Nils contributes what is my favorite track, Go With Me, your penultimate track. Sticking with piano on this thing. There's just this great bass tone on this thing. It's like a little loose. It's got this like just thick tone and finds this great groove. I really like this jam. The guitars are fire on this thing as well. An all around just nice composition from start to finish. And then Just For You, your final song is a piano driven ballad. It's oh man, when the saxophone element comes in on this thing, I absolutely love that part of this track. And it's a nice way to close this record out. Pretty mellow track, but like I said, this is a mellow affair. This is something that, throw it on and relax in the morning. It's maybe something that's nice for a casual dinner with some friends, or if you're just looking to have some chill time with the headphones. I think you'll all enjoy this record if you're so inclined to listen to Neil Young and Crazy Horse. If you, I was talking to some people, it was really funny. They're like, I can't find this record, and I was like, it's built different. You gotta actually look it up. But I mean, I'm pretty sure at this point, if you do type in Neil Young and Crazy Horse and type in the title of the record, All Roads Lead Home, it'll come up for you and you can find it. But Ralph contributing that last track to what is a really cool effort from them. This other side of Crazy Horse that I don't think we really get to see as often as we want, and it's great to have it at this point in their career. Definitely a vinyl please for me. I hope you enjoy this record, and I hope you find this review helpful. Please tune into the live show on Tuesday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and stay tuned throughout the week for more album reviews. We will see you next time on the Beat Sessions.